Good morning, Sankofa family. This is the part in our service where we practice the ritual of pouring libation. And I wanted to remember this morning um, an important brother who recently made his transition, who I think is very consistent with our theme of family for this month. And that is, of course, Brother Mutulu Shakur. And, whenever we hear the names Tupac, right, or Asada, we might not necessarily make the connection that Mutulu is an important part of that lineage, but he very much is. And we should acknowledge that Mutulu made an important contribution in matters of health and wellness, attending to those who were struggling with issues of addiction, right, through his use of acupuncture and other medical techniques to address their ills. And he was moved to doing some of this work because he grew up with a mother who had a disability, who was blind, right? So I just want to pour this libation for Brother Mutulu Shakur and the Shakur lineage, really, okay, including his brother Cherney Lloyd. Ashe. I also want to pour, of course, for Asada Shakur, who is not with us here physically, but is in exile in Cuba. Ashe. I want to also pour for the legacy of our brother Tupac Shakur, who has inspired a generation and continues to be on the lips and in the minds of many, right? And who Mutulu played an important role in inspiring. So with that, I'll say Ashe. And with this last bit of libation, I just want to pour for a sister who was an elder in my community growing up, who helped to inspire me, who also recently made her transition, and who, like Mutulu, was a light to those who were incarcerated. Tragically, Mutulu spent many important years of his life behind the walls, right? But he continued to do the important work that he had always been doing, helping to raise up and encourage those who were around him to have knowledge of themselves and to seek to be a benefit and relevance to their people. And Mashiri Mugo also was doing this work. She was a playwright and an English professor, but she was also a political activist. And she helped to initiate volunteer programs in prison. So I want to pour for that sister as well, Ashe. And I just want to remember that, as I said, both Mutulu as well as Mishere, helped to bridge generations, right? With their own children and with, lives of young people who they touch, who were not necessarily their biological children. So they were very consistent with building a strong black family in a community sense that we need and is very much appreciated right now for us as a people, right? So just for all those further generations to come, I want to say Ashe, Ashe, Asheo.